What's up, guys? Welcome to the full comparison of the RedMagic 10s Pro Plus over here and the iPhone 16 Pro Max over here. So we're just going to get into comparing physical hardware very quickly on the outside. As you can see, this is a very gaming-esque setup on the left. Of course, this is a gaming phone specifically designed for gaming, whereas this phone is a more of a general phone. Think of this as the Cybertruck and this as the Mercedes of phones. So clearly take your pick. Right here we have flashes, we have some 50 megapixel cameras basically, and then, I'm trying to be a little bit more general here with the overall hardware specs. We have a 2 megapixel wide angle and then 50 megapixels. These are both going to be great for cameras. This obviously is no slouch, but of course this one has a better wide angle lens than this one, but this obviously shines in different areas than this. So yeah, so both good cameras, both can shoot in, I believe this can shoot in 8K. If not 4K 60, this can shoot in 8K 30. But basically, very high quality pictures. You're not really going to have to worry about anything not being incredibly good, as this really just is the best that we have to offer. So yeah. And, it really is the best. So yeah. Apple the best. All right. So as you can see on this side, we have hardware screws. We have flashes up towards the top. This one right here has a camera bump. This one does not. So this one obviously lies flat, while this one does not. So that's something, if you're looking for a phone that lies flat, this is your go-to for sure. And then obviously just a very basic look on the iPhone, nothing too special, just an Apple logo, but it is a clean look if people want a clean look. Right over here we have way more. We have this is the Chinese variant of the phone. So clearly we have like a DAO symbol. I think that's what it is because it says DAO up top. I don't really know what that means, but yeah. So there's obviously a very nice technical design with it. This lights up. This is an RGB light. This lights up as well. This is the XS right here. And then we have the exposed screws and this nice reflective material, mirror-esque material across parts of it. So yeah, the back looks pretty sweet. Over here, a little bit more basic right here, but still nonetheless pretty cool looking. So let's go to the sides. We have an antenna band. We have a vent right here. For the fan. Oh yeah, and so sorry guys, there's a 32K or 30, goodness gracious, a 23,000 RPM fan right here, which is very fast. It has a a Ferris wheel design, so the thing has two different fans stacked on top of each other, and then obviously the vent over here. So yeah, we have that, and then let's see here, two antenna bands. Going down, we have the power button right here, and then right here we have the camera button, which is a pretty sweet feature on here. And then another antenna band, and then right here, this side is very clean. And then so let's go to the bottom right here. So both looking pretty good. Very clean setup. This is definitely not as wide as this phone, and this is on the left looking a bit thinner. But I think they sacrifice the camera bump. So whereas this is thicker, this has a camera bump. And guys, we're at a point where these phones are so thin, so it's not like, look at my finger, okay? Like, so this is, look at the side of my fingers. These are very thin phones, okay? I have just like normal size hands. You know what they say, average cock out here, bro. So yeah, we have the speaker grills though, they're speakers. So yeah. And then we have little screws right here. Sorry about moving the device. I don't know, for some reason it keeps going out of focus, which is very annoying. But yeah, we have USB-C ports right here. And then we have a spot for a SIM card, which you don't have on here. This is only eSIM, and this fortunately has physical SIM. So if you're looking for physical SIM, this has that. Right here we have a microphone. And yeah, so now let's look at the front. This has a Retina display. There's all these fancy terms, but realistically, it's a Retina display that goes from 60 to 120 hertz. This has a specific ability to set specific refresh rates, and you can toggle each one. So this goes up to 144 hertz. Obviously, this phone is not really prioritizing any kind of gaming, so it doesn't need 144 hertz. There's really no need for that. So yeah. Okay, so let's get into the other side right here. Let's see here. So on this side, we have a multi-function button, and we have an antenna band. And then right here, 520 hertz haptic feedback triggers for your shooting games. This is the multifunction button, like I said. This is a vent right here, volume rocker. This is the volume rocker right here. I like how these are two separate buttons. And then we have the power button and the game space switch, which I will show you in a second, pretty much. So right here, we also have an antenna band and then a microphone, then another 520 hertz haptic feedback trigger. And these light up as well. If you see that little line right, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a little line right there, and that lights up. So you're going to see it when I boot the phones on. And then, yeah, so up top, we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and an IR blaster. Nothing like that up here. It's pretty basic. Up here, we have a microphone up here, antenna band. Yeah, but the headphone jack is something if you're looking for no latency when playing games in terms of the audio. There's literally no delay, which is something that's really awesome. And yeah, so clearly these phones look great. So I intentionally had these off so I can just show you guys how fast these both boot up, because I believe that is something that is important to some people. So yeah, let's get these babies booted up. I don't know why the iPhone isn't turning on. Oh, it did. Okay, good. So that obviously popped on before that. Buttons pressed at the same time. Yeah, obviously the boot up on the right was much faster than the left, but I mean, realistically, you're not missing much on either one. I mean, it's not like, oh no, 2 seconds, it's horrible. How could we ever live? So yeah, both of these have nice displays. This is honestly a high quality display. I will get the numbers in a second and just pop them up in text, but basically, yeah, dude. Yeah, these both look great. Both have front-facing cameras, although this is hidden, so this is a clean slab. You won't have any sort of dynamic island like you have over here. And yeah, you can't actually see this little flash right here, but because it is on camera, you can see it, so don't worry about that. But yeah, both are on T-Mobile, 5G, ultra cellular, and yeah, both of these are pretty freaking sweet. So they obviously have clocks on the display, and you can customize what they look like. This has some information right here. I apologize about this real quick, guys. I'm going to go ahead and just get into these really fast. Apologies. So this actually has an auto lock feature for never. This one, unfortunately, was... let's see here. This one right here is the sickest fucking phone. Basically, though, with this one, you can't set a option for a never unlock. There's only 10 minutes. So, yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and go into this one, too. So this is set to 10 minutes, but of course, for some reason, it doesn't like to do that. This one on the left has 2,000, or excuse me, right here, so 2,000 nits, peak brightness, all that shit. This one is bright as well. Realistically, guys, they're both super bright. You're not going to run into an issue where the sun is basically blinding you. This was the problem with phones in general in like 2012. But we're at a point where the phones are so bright, basically, you're going to burn your corneas out on both of them. So, yeah, when you pull down from the top notification shade, you have notifications here, of course. And then right here, you have this new liquid glass design thing. Basically, they both have toggles, and they're both pretty cool looking. They have like a nut. You can basically look at those, and you can go in and edit and add toggles here, too. This obviously has like the light strip option, right? And then you can go... So you can go here, like I was saying, they both light up, everything's cool, like the fan lights up and everything. It looks pretty sick, dude, honestly. I want this to be more of like a realistic review because, honestly, I could bore you guys with specs, but people don't really want to hear every single thing. They're probably more interested in just the actual physical comparisons. But in terms of specs, guys, we have both of these are really great phones. You're not really getting a slouch either. We have the A18 on the left for the processor, which is a octa-core processor, finally. And then we have a octa-core processor on the right as well. This one caps out at 4.43 gigahertz, which is fast as fuck, pretty much. And then this one obviously caps out at a high clock speed as well. I'm going to put up the numbers as well for those. And then this has 24 gigabytes of RAM that extends up to 32. This only has 8, But then, like I said, you're only going to need really just social media and shit if you're doing this one. You can play games, but this is the gaming powerhouse. So what I do is I use this one as my main phone just for basic phone shit, so I don't have to keep changing shit around. And when I upgrade these, I don't like transferring stuff a million times over. And I want to keep this thing pristine, so I don't want to be bringing it everywhere. And yeah, so that's basically what I do there. Both of these, this one has a slide up thing for apps, and then this one right here has apps right here, so you can basically see every single app. And yeah, in terms of customization, basically on this one, guys, you can customize just the background, and that's roughly it. This does have an option to where you can go in and you can kind of set up different applications that you add to the device to do different things like that. They have that option. You can do the same thing on here, and I think that that's pretty sick. Obviously, both displays looking good. And yeah, so going into each app on here, I'm just going to show you guys a game comparison. I have another gameplay, but we're just going to boot these up quickly. I usually go ahead and do I do audio that is internally recorded, but I think for the sake of this video, it's probably better if I give you guys the actual speakers. So I'm just going to turn this one down. Yeah, so this is the iPhone speaker. Fucking loud as shit, okay? So I'm going to turn that one down, and then I'm going to turn this one up, and you're going to be able to hear that this one is loud as fuck too. Personally, I like the iPhone sound a little bit better. It feels a little bit more full. Whereas this speaker is no slouch, though, and then if you don't like it, you can literally plug in a headphone jack, or you can just do speakers, or excuse me, you can do headphones as well here. So yeah, if I go into Warzone or Warfare and just hit start, I'll show you guys some stuff real quick. I have a gameplay where the audio's a little bit better, but yeah. So you can slide this down in a game, and I'm just going to pop this brightness all the way up so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. Scoot this one out of the way. Look, smooth as butter. This one has the nice trigger setup that honestly looks great to me. Very smooth like butter. You know what I'm saying? 144 hertz. Unfortunately, the game only allows 120 though. But I mean, shit. Look how smooth and fast it is. Let's say I fucking shoot. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking pew 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 pew. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking pew pew, bitch. So yeah. So clearly everything is smooth as fuck. I'm gonna jump in the water to give you guys something real quick. Little parachute, little water action. Can go under, I think. Yeah, so I can swim underwater. Actually really cool. Guys, this phone is a fucking beast. And if you're looking for gaming, skip the fucking iPhone, to be honest. Because this thing is just so much fucking better in terms of gaming. I mean, the iPhone gaming is okay, but I mean, do you want to shoot with triggers or do you want to shoot with your display? I mean, I want to shoot with triggers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's basically just a quick demo of just the gaming. So right here as well, we have options where you can go ahead and you can customize the different speed, anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering, all this stuff. You can go in here. You can actually change up if you want a higher sampling rate. You can boost the smoothness, stabilization, and the sensitivity. Basically, you have so much specific control right here that you don't have on the iPhone. The iPhone's just going to refresh, basically, and you're not going to be able to control things where you have like eco mode, balance. You have all these different game toggles and things like that. I have a full review on this device at least, and I will be doing a full review on this phone. So if you are looking for very specific details on this phone in terms of Game Center, go over to that video and check that out. I just wanted to do more of a general overall comparison for the things people are going to notice, especially when they don't really look into the phone or the device. I wanted this to be more of just general information, and I wanted it to be more realistic. As Fozzie Carter says, more of a real review. So yeah, like what's the stuff you're actually going to access? You can hit this here and you can move these buttons around, and then yeah, that's how you activate the triggers. They have different awesome features and stuff like that. And yeah, this one also has an ability called Diablo mode. So if you lock this shit out, it's going to basically go ahead and clock it at the max speed, 4.47 gigahertz and 1200 megahertz for the GPU. So yeah, so the gaming is fucking sweet, honestly. Yeah, I'm trying to get off of the... There we go. So yeah, you can go here. This one also has swipe directions, but I personally prefer the home screen Android phone over that. So yeah, that's gaming on this one, and then I'm going to turn the volume up and throw... So just show you guys some gaming on here. But yeah, if in the beginning, if you somehow didn't see this, I have all the physical specs. I'm just going to have it listed on a thing so you can pause it, and then I'm going to spend the majority of the video just basically going over specs and shit. So yeah, we're doing this right here. I'm going to pop this brightness up. Yeah, it's on Cyclone. Cyclone is a really sweet new map. Okay, it's forcing me to do this shit. Okay, you can basically modify shit, all that. It's basically, you can customize stuff. I have so many Delta Force gameplays where you can kind of see all the specifics of this game, but basically this is the best mobile shooter that's honestly ever existed. This is by far the greatest thing ever. Nothing even comes close. But as you can see, the sound is just super full. I really enjoy it, and that's honestly why I like listening to stuff a little bit better on this versus this one. Obviously, still a good speaker, nothing wrong with it. And that's the thing at this point, guys, with phones, you're going to have great speakers, great displays, everything like that. So yeah, clear. I'm gonna get out of the vehicle, but it obviously shoots well. It's smooth. Everything's great. You know what I'm saying? Everything's really, really nice. I have a quick gameplay. I'm going to have more gameplays in general on these phones, so don't worry about that. I have a lot already on the RedMagic phone. I'm going to do some iPhone gameplays as well. But yeah, clearly just they shoot well. Everything's smooth. Everything looks really good. So yeah, basically that's it. This obviously has a little swipe up thing, right? You can just kind of do that. And yeah, so there's obviously a lot of different toggles in the settings, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, personal hotspot, general accessibility, action button. Like I said, right here, the action button. So this looks pretty cool. Virtual intelligence, recognize music, all this shit, right? Focus, silent mode, everything. I kind of wish they had like the switch like they used to. That was pretty iconic, but you do have more options for this, which I think is pretty freaking cool anyway. So yeah. Customizing is pretty fucking sweet with the side button right here. You know, Control Center, Apple Intelligence, basically just Siri and ChatGPT combined, which is pretty sweet. Home screen app library, search, standby, wallpaper, notifications, sounds, focus, screen time, Face ID, emergency SOS, privacy, security, game, center, iCloud, wallet pay, and apps. So basically every normal setup, every option you're gonna have on either an iPhone, it's the same thing. There's not really anything specifically special about this other than what I like right here, which is actually very convenient. So this, you hit this button right here and you have an ability to take pictures, and if you hold up top, you push down a little bit, you can change up the... I wish it was a little bit easier to do, to be honest. It's not as okay, yeah, so you press down and then a little bit, and then yeah, you have the option to do different things like that. And then yeah, that turns around, you can see your boy right here. So yeah, so this is a pretty cool camera feature, and honestly I found it really easy and actually pretty convenient when trying to take pictures of my cat. The photo quality is really good. You're not going to have any pictures on either phone basically where you run into any issues with the quality. These are both very great. The only issue over here is the wide angle camera. It fucking sucks, to be honest. But everything else on the phone is, in terms of camera, over here is pretty good. And yeah, so obviously iMessage, FaceTime, phone calls. Phone calls are great. It's really going to depend on service in your area though. And yeah, you have every basic Apple app. There's nothing really that special. Everyone here in the entire world has seen iPhones. Really, the only thing that's different is the newer processor, more RAM, and right here, this camera button. But everything else is the same besides that from last year's device. And yeah, so that's really the iPhone, simply put. You know what I mean? There's not really anything too special about this phone. I do like it. I think it's a great phone if you want to use it for basic stuff. And it games well, like as you just saw. So it's great. And you guys heard the volume's pretty good. And then I'm going to pull up a little video of mine just to kind of show you guys some video real quick. Just so you guys can get, so I don't get copyrighted. But I'm going to go ahead and go into one of my videos real quick. This is what I was talking about, to say a little visual comparison. If you want, you can just go scroll up and you can see it like this. This is the first one that has the audio right now. But yeah, so you can do a little zoom right here and you can see, because this is 4K in terms of what it's recorded in. Then you can do this when the volume changes to right here. Yeah, so it zooms in. It's really awesome. The video quality and audio quality is fantastic. You can go here. You can adjust the settings. 720p, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this bitch at 2160. Obviously, really high quality. Everything's great. This has the App Store obviously on it, so you have access to every single app you could imagine on here, as well as going over to the Android phone. You have the same thing on that one as well. You have access to even Apple Music on this phone. But yeah, so that's this right here. I'm just going to leave this maybe in the back, and I'll slide it away. So right here, you have the option to double tap to wake. You can have a password for privacy. Yeah, so right here, of course, the applications, things like that. You can I like this actually. You can go in here. You can access settings just from the top. You can access brightness and stuff from here. Very similar in terms of what you can do, but this is what I was talking about right here. You can go ahead and you can do intelligence adjustment, which is exactly what the iPhone does and only allows. But right here, you can change it up. So if you want to save battery, you can lower the refresh rate, but I like it on 144 hertz. And speaking of batteries, so in this one, we have a 7,500 milliamp hour battery, and I believe this is around 5,000. I will have that up in the beginning as well in terms of the actual numbers for each phone. But yes, this has these both have big batteries, but I mean, this one is basically a power bank. It really pretty much eclipses the battery here. There's really no question. I honestly think it's maybe 4,700 milliamp hours versus 7,500. If you're looking for battery, this thing is a fucking beast and is going to outperform and outlast the battery by a million thousand degrees. Okay. So yeah, battery's great on both of these phones. But like I said, this display is super full and nice and beautiful. And honestly, it's really great for watching entertainment. You're not going to get anything that... Okay, right here. So we're going to go to the same video on this one. So you guys can kind of see. Both zooms in, and both of them look really good. Then you can go here as well. You can do the playback, advanced, 2160. So no dynamic island over there, but the dynamic island is really cool. It has different features that you can experience. It really does have like a nice little UI, but honestly, in this flash, don't worry, like I said before, it doesn't actually show up when you're looking at the phone. Just the camera is the only thing that can see it. And yeah, both of these have face unlock, and this one has a fingerprint unlock. The iPhone does not have that, but they both unlock very quickly in terms of your ability to unlock it with your face. There's really no issues, and honestly, the only thing I use this camera for, I don't really use it for any sort of photo taking capabilities because it honestly sucks. But it's on a display, so no matter how high quality they make the camera, it's just going to be affected by the display above it, and that's the sacrifice you make basically with not having a display notch. So pick your poison. Pretty much, do you want a better front-facing camera, or do you want a display where you can watch videos and have no issues? If FaceTime and shit like that is more important to you than watching videos and stuff, obviously go with this phone. But if that's not something you're even concerned about, then honestly, who cares? You don't really have to worry about the front-facing camera, and I only use it for the the face unlock feature as well. And they're both super quick, and they unlock super fast. And so, yeah, and then obviously right here, you have the whole thing like that where you can swipe away the apps. Very similar. Like what you're going to get, guys, is a very similar experience, except for this thing right here. Game Center, which is actually very, very cool. You can have all the apps. You can add different ones. Right down here, this has AAA games, and Apple has AAA games too. But basically, this allows you to do Xbox remote play, PlayStation remote play, Steam Link, and the same thing for Epic Games. And it has a built-in PC emulator. They are releasing this a bit later, but you can play literal PC games on this. And right now, in the meantime, you can download WinLater, and you can play games like Fallout and things like that on here. It is going to run better on not run better on this one. It's going to run better on this one because of the ability to lock out the processor to get it to boot better, but also the amount of RAM you can have. You can have up to 32 gigs of RAM, and with games like that, RAM is very important. And so yeah, so if you can go in here and start games as the thing on the side too that you cannot see, but you have like Super Bass, all this shit. You have a bunch of really cool features in this Game Center, and it basically acts like a game console. So yeah, I'll go into the camera real quickly and just kind of do a little photo. Let's see my hand. Let's see how good it's going to take for a photo of my hand. So let's say you go into it and you zoom in. It's okay. It's all right. It has this watermark, but you can get rid of the watermark. And then right here, we're going to go ahead and turn it around and hit your boy with the front-facing photo. Honestly, it's okay. It's all right. The sun blows it out. It feels like a VGA camera, to be honest. Yeah. So you have all these little features, things like that. Milky Way, night, portrait mode, all this shit. The iPhone camera app is exactly the same. There's really nothing that different. I will go into more specific details, but in a full review. But basically, that is a general overview of the camera and things like that. So we have the unique feature right here with this, and then the fan as well. Over here we have the side button and the camera button, and then the cameras are very nice. The display's nice high quality processors, way more RAM on this one. I also bought the model with way more storage on here. These both have up to 1 terabyte of storage, but this one's going to run you 1,000 for 1 terabyte of storage and a bigger battery, versus this one over here, you're going to get a smaller battery and way less storage for the same cost. The same amount of money that I spent on this one for 256 gigs of storage, in which this would be around $1,800 for the same amount of storage you get right here for $1,000. I got it for $1,200 because I got the Chinese model. In terms of software support, longer term software support on this, and really, I'm going to be honest, you get a year of updates. They say 2, but they don't really update it from every phone that I've transitioned from. They honestly, let's be real here. They're going to hit you with, fucking, it's terrible over here. I've not seen an update. I didn't see any more updates on my 10 Pro. They basically say fuck you, and they do not update the phone at all. Like one fucking bit, which sucks cock. Yeah, so, boom. Double tap to wake, double tap to sleep. I think I can do that. No, I can't on here. Maybe I can toggle it in the settings. But yeah, you're going to have so many more software updates and more software support. But the thing to keep in mind, guys, is it doesn't mean, just because you don't get an update, it doesn't mean that the phone now is a piece of shit, okay? You're going to get more with the Chinese variant of the phone versus the global model. But pick your poison. But yeah, you're going to get like roughly updates on this until they release a new one. But Apple doesn't neglect for updates. So that's something to keep in mind. Both have like a fucking flashlight and shit. Basically, guys, very similar in terms of just basic features. And then they branch off into more gaming here and more just photography and things like that here. This is more for the person who just wants a nice phone and doesn't care about all the gaming features. This one is for the person who loves playing games on their phone and wants a next level experience. So, of course, with that, guys, this was a pretty short comparison. I didn't really go into too much detail, but I do go into full details very extensively with this phone. And then I also do the same thing. Well, I will be doing the same thing with this phone, going into every single thing. And so, yeah, I just wanted to do a brief overall comparison, showing you guys very general things that you're probably just going to use every day. You're going to use calling and texting, and they both do that very well. You know, taking photos. You're going to be using Game Center on here. You're going to be probably just using social media on here. This thing works great for that too. I would say the social media experience on here is much better than on here, but this is no slouch, and it can obviously run everything very well. What you guys got to keep in mind is when you go ahead and when you're looking for, like, people are probably going to ask in the comments, like, oh, you know, can this run social media well? Like, dude, this has a octa-core processor and 24 gigabytes of RAM. up to 32. Of course, if it can run a really high quality PC game, of course it's going to be able to do basic stuff. I mean, it's Android, guys. Everything in Android phone, everything you can do on an Android phone, you can do on here. Everything you do on an iPhone, obviously, you can do on here. So yeah, so this is basically just I'm being loud, but basically this is just a quick little comparison between the phones. It's not as extensively detailed as my other comparisons, but realistically, on average, people watch about 2 minutes of these videos anyway. So to the people who stuck this out, fantastic. I really appreciate you watching. These are both very great phones, and you're not really gonna miss out getting anything on these phones. This is the top phone for iOS, and this is the top phone for Android in terms of speed. So yeah, so very great phones, and honestly, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little comparison, and yeah, have a good one.